Welcome to the latest installment in our Back to School series. Wes Bowling here with Nokian Tyres. We are discussing some tips for safe driving as we're revisiting some of the basics for people. As kids are going back to school, we thought we could all go back to school when it comes to tires. Nokian Tyres invented the winter tire, and some would say Alaska invented winter. It is cold up there in the colder months, and today we're joined by Craig Wortham. He's the owner of AllWeather Tire up in Alaska, several locations in Anchorage, Fairbanks, and beyond. Craig, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Wes, for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks for thinking about us in Alaska, too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are an awesome customer of ours, and you treat your customers very well up in the land of the midnight sun. And so we thought we would connect with you to talk about some tips for staying safe on the road in snow and ice, because nobody really in North America gets much more than you guys up there in Alaska. So with that in mind, what are some basics that drivers should consider as temperatures get colder when it comes, first off, to checking their tires to make sure they're suitable for winter driving before they even get in the car?
You should always visually inspect your tires at least once a month. Go out and visually inspect them, make sure there's no chips, cuts, abrasions, discolorization on the sidewall, uneven wear. Prior to wintertime, and check air pressure too. Prior to wintertime too, as well. I would recommend maybe taking your tire into a tire dealer and having them check the tread depth. As the tire wears down, traction, as we know in the industry, traction gets worse and worse. Rolling resistance gets less, and so I generally recommend that you take it into your local tire dealer and have them inspect your tires and make a recommendation.
And once I'm on the road, if the roads are snowy, icy, tricky, any tricks of the trade for making sure you're getting the most out of those tires and getting where you need to go safely?
Uh, Say that again, Wes. I looked down at my. Ask me that question again, buddy.
Fine. So when I'm in the car, when I'm driving and roads turn snowy or icy, what are your tricks of the trade for making sure I'm getting the most out of my tires and making sure I'm getting where I need to go safely?
Proper air pressure is extremely important. I would like to remind or at least mention that as the ambient air temperature changes and the temperature drops or raises, that your air temperature in your tire fluctuates too. So always be cognizant of the differences in temperature. If it's 40 degrees one day and 0 the next, then you need to make sure you take a look at it. As far as driving, I would say make sure you space your distance further back from a vehicle in front of you. Adapt your driving habits to the conditions. Stay alert, slow down, and always stay in control.
How should I go about choosing the right winter tire? If I'm coming into your shop and I'm asking you for your expertise on what I'm going to need out of a winter tire, what kinds of advice are you giving, whether it's choosing between studded or non-studded tires or different qualities of the tire that are going to be the most important?
I think that depends on the environment of which you live in. In Alaska, for us, we have stores that are in coastal cities that are close to the ocean, and that keeps us warmer in the wintertime. So a all-weather type tire or studless type tire works good. In the interior where it's extremely cold, where you don't have the ocean cooling you down, that takes a different set of criteria to make a recommendation. So we make recommendations based on the locations that you live. We also make recommendations based on where you live and what kind of roads you'll be primarily driving on. Are they well maintained? So I think it's up to the individual and the individual situation, but consider the environment that you live in and the road conditions that you generally drive in every day.
So unpredictable weather, then an all-weather tire or maybe even a non-studded winter tire is a better bet. Whereas if you live in a place with hard packed snow and ice, then I guess the studded is going to be the better bet for you.
We've actually found, Wes, that the colder that it is and the longer that it stays cold and frozen and you don't have above freezing temperatures, that the studless tires work better in those environments. In environments that it cools down and gets above freezing and the roads get wet and icy, we found that studded tires have a tendency to work better in those environments. And as far as all weather tires go, if you feel comfortable driving, you have the right vehicle, all weather tires certainly work and work well. In some cases, work extremely well.
So when it comes to the brand, You are a very loyal Nokian Tires customer, and we are among the tires that you sell, especially in the winter. What is it about Nokian Tires products that makes you recommend them to drivers that walk into your shop?
Well, having sold the tire for 10 years, just watching it and perform and getting customer feedback has been a significant part of why we believe in the product so much. We've watched the company over the years. I think Nokian has a fierce reputation as being the global leader in the winter products. Most of us have actually visited Finland, in the factory and the training facilities there. So the passion that Nokian and the company has for winter tire innovation is pretty remarkable. And for us, that is just it gives us goosebumps to have that same shared passion as Nokian Finland. So
That's awesome to hear. Craig, anything else that you have to add for our audience when it comes to winter driving or winter tires?
stay in control, be safe. Watch out for the drivers around you. It's not always you can be as safe as you want, but you're also dependent on how safe your co-driver in front of you or behind you is being. So spread out distance. That to me is a huge thing in winter driving conditions. Always give yourself a little bit of extra space and time to react. Well, and
Awesome.
don't hesitate to be late. Leave yourself some extra time before you go anywhere too. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes so that you don't feel rushed.
Safety over punctuality, certainly true in the wintertime and always. And at Nokian Tires, we take pride in making safe, sustainable tires for winter, also all-weather tires and all-season. Craig, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your loyalty to Nokian Tires. And folks, if you're interested in learning more about Nokian Tires winter products or more tips in our back-to-school series, just keep watching our social media channel at Nokian Tires with a Y, N-A, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Craig, thank you.
Thank you, Wes. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nokian Tires.